Hi peeps, welcome back for another video. Big thank you first of all for anyone that's watched my previous videos. I think the last one got a couple hundred. That mightn't seem a lot in the YouTube scheme of things, but I wasn't even expecting that, so thank you so much for anyone that's watching. And a response, had a few messages about it on Facebook and things like that, so thank you to anyone that reached out, and keep watching, and hopefully we can keep this ramblings and things entertaining for you. This week I just wanted to just talk about, obviously, the thing that we can't avoid and that's been going on for the last 3 months. Obviously with COVID and lockdown and things like that. I just wanted to do a bit of a video on just getting my thoughts and vibes out about that, really, and just evaluate it maybe a bit. It's been a bit of a strange time, it's been a bit of a crazy time. I don't know anyone which it hasn't affected in some way. It's just been mental, and it's not something I ever thought would happen in our lifetime, so obviously I just wanted to document it in some way. Firstly, I hope everyone's been okay, hope everyone's managed to stay home and stay safe, and all your families are well and things like that. That's the main thing. It's funny, like, in times of craziness like this, it does bring out the good. They say the good, the bad and the ugly in people, and I have seen some things of the good, the bad and the ugly the last couple of months. And it's even little things, like initially everyone saw like the horrendous book buying and just pure greediness initially when it was first talked about lockdown, and that blew me away. I never thought I'd see anything like that. That was just pure greed, just utter selfish greed. And it's funny, like, I had a circumstance where I was still getting public transport to and from work. Shout out to Mama P, who's been giving me a lift. Absolute legend, to and from work. She's been my saviour. But the coming up to lockdown, I think it was the couple of days before, I was still getting transport, and just before I was getting, one particular day, just before I was getting the bus home, I nipped to the shops just to get some bits before I got my bus, and I had to get some toiletries and things like that, and we did actually need some toilet roll, promise, did actually need it. So managed to get some in a small palm shop just before I was getting onto my bus. Got a few other bits. I think we needed toothpaste and things like that, and it was one of those type of shops. So went to the bus stop, got to the bus stop, and there was these two old ladies waiting for the bus, and they saw that I'd bought toilet rolls, and they both were just overjoyed, and they were just like, where did you get the toilet rolls, where did you get the toilet rolls? One lady said, oh, I've been in 5 shops and I've not been able to find any, and things like that. And I just said, oh, it was just that shop on the corner over there. And then they were both waiting for a bus that was due, and they were panicking. You could see they were panicking about missing the bus or whether to go and get it. So it was no big deal, it was just toilet roll. So I just split the pack and split half a pack between the ladies. I think they had 3 each. And the pure joy on their faces when I'd given them these toilet rolls was just crazy, over something so simple and as a toilet roll. That blew me away a bit, because it's necessity, and we've just book bought that and made it seem such a precious thing. It was just crazy. But obviously on the flip side of it, working in the NHS, I've seen so much good as well. It's the way everyone just banded together and got on with it, and it's been amazing. I'm nowhere near the front line, but as I work in cancer services, my role couldn't really change. It was still essential. It's one of the services that was kept going. Wasn't classed as routine services or anything like that. So to see everyone still banding together and still getting on with things and still cracking on has been amazing. The NHS is amazing. It's certainly seen how vital and how lucky we are to have this great thing keeping us going, and which is basically such an important part of our way of life in the UK. It's so lucky to have it. It's unreal. But for me, the whole being a home bird, the actual principle of lockdown hasn't been that bad for me. I would say I'm part sloth. Love being in my comfiest clothes and things like that, so that hasn't been such a hardship for me. I've loved just chilling out at home. Yeah, staying at home hasn't been that bad. I haven't really minded staying at home. Gotta say, I have missed my friends a hell of a lot. I've missed just meeting them for a coffee. One of my best friends just missed going for a drive with him and things like that. I suppose it is one of those circumstances. You don't know what you've got till it's gone, and you don't know, you don't want something until you can't have it when you're told not to do it, if that makes sense. Can't remember the last time I went out for a drink or a dance or anything like that. I've missed them so much, but hopefully over the next couple of weeks I will be hopefully just penciling some things in, just to, now restrictions have lifted a bit, maybe meet them in a park a bit and meet them for a stroll or just a walk, just to catch up. I can't wait just to catch up, and just, there's only so much you can really do over like FaceTimes and Zoom calls and things like that. There's only so much you can really catch up with someone. So fingers crossed that'll be happening over the next few weeks, and hopefully sometime soon I'll actually get to go out and just mingle with other people as well. It's funny how you not having that interaction with everyone, it just seems like a million years ago. It's just so strange. And obviously with me being single as well, it's put a dampener on any possible dating opportunities, because with all my friends being taken, we don't go out as much. So when we do go out, then probably my only chances really to go out and enjoy myself. So obviously it's more than likely back to the online dating and things like that, and so that whole world would be opened up again, which would bring a whole bag of craziness with it. But yeah, can't wait just to get some normal patterns to life again, I suppose. What was I saying? yeah, love chilling at home, so that was been no struggle for me. But pretty early on, with it all, a big worry that came to my mind, and obviously my brothers and my sisters, was my dad's quite elderly. He turned 70 during lockdown. He quite early on got the letter to stay in for 12 weeks, and he's not the person you tell what to do. He's so one-track minded, he knows best. I love him, but he's so frustrating sometimes. So having to deal with him has been hard, because he's not wanted to stay in. He's not wanted to do as he's been told. We feel like we become the parents in some ways, and even though I'd say things like, Dad, I can drop stuff off for you after work, I can tell me what you need from the shops, I can get you it. I knew for a fact he was still going out. Knew for a fact he was still going places like dry cleaners and stuff like that, and because I don't live with him and because I don't live by him, it was really hard. I couldn't help him, and that was frustrating. My brother and my sister have done what they can as well, but he's just, it's been a frustrating slog with him in some ways. Like I say, I love him, but it's been hard. He's got major health issues. He's had 2 heart attacks and heart bypass, pacemaker and defibrillator fitted, so he's very, very high risk. So but he just doesn't feel that. He just doesn't get that into his head sometimes, how high risk he is. So that's been hard. My mum as well, she's in her mid-60s. She works in the NHS as well. So you could say she was at quite a bit of a risk. Thankfully she's been able to work from home a couple of days a week, which I think she's loved and hated all at once. I think it's drove her a bit insane. I think she likes the routine of work and things like that. And to be honest, I'm kind of thankful that I've still been needed and I've not had to work from home myself. I think that routine and that structure has kept me sane to some certain extent. I've still had a reason to get up and get going and do my everyday thing, because it's not had to stop. If I had to work at home under my own steam, I think I'd really, really, really struggle. I don't think I could do it. I think I would go insane, to put it nicely. So shout out to anyone that's been doing that. I don't think I could. It's blown me away as well. Like, some of my friends have been working from home and juggled it with kids. Don't know how they've done that. One friend's given birth during lockdown and had not had the support structure, and she's just powered through. She's been amazing. So seeing that in people is just, the way they just cracked on has been amazing. It has made me realise as well, lockdown, the importance of like things like hobbies and having stuff to distract you from the news. And I think initially when it was all happening, I'd come home and being in a hospital environment, you'd see it all every day. You'd see how everyone was quite scared, and, well, not scared, but tense. You could see how it was all about COVID. And I'd come home, watch the 5 o'clock update from all the MPs and Prime Minister and things like that, health ministers, to watch that 5 o'clock update, and it's just too much. I have found crazy things to keep me distracted and just away from all that madness, like silly things like painting by numbers. I haven't done that for years, but I ordered a few and I loved it. I love just zoning out and just not thinking and just doing and just switching off and focusing on something else. I've loved it. I've even done weird things like woodwork. I've been doing a bit of woodwork. I'm a 36-year-old woman. The other week I made a bed table. It just came to me. My mum said she might like one, and I just said, well, I'll make you one. Who does that? Like, but it's been amazing just to distract myself and find and realise that I can relax and that I can find hobbies. I've kind of like that. I didn't think I would miss things like, I'm not a big shopper, I'm not a big online shopper either. So I think because I like going to shops and I like actually seeing things, I have missed just being able just to randomly just snip into Liverpool on the train and have a look around the shops. I'm not a big spendaholic or shopaholic by any means, but just having that something to do, just to kill a few hours over a weekend, you don't realise what you've got till it's gone. Little things like I signed up for my counselling course. Initially when I signed up for that, at the very beginning of March. Well, the end of February, it kicked in the middle of March. I think we had our first lesson on the 12th of March. And then we literally had that first lesson in classroom, and then because of COVID, every other lesson had to be on Microsoft Teams, the other 10 or 11 lessons. So it was crazy having to adjust to that style of learning. I've never done that before, and I'm not particularly tech savvy either, so having to adjust to something like that was a whole new world. It was funny because at the end of it, me and the other members of the class, we got, I wouldn't say emotional, but we were all quite proud and quite chuffed that we got to the end of it, and we managed to do this 10-week course during such a crazy, mad pandemic, basically a worldwide pandemic, and we managed to get this course done, which was crazy. It just shows you like the joy. I've had that structure of a Thursday night of doing that was needed, and it was something to take me away from, like I say, watching the news. It was great. It was much welcomed. But it's definitely made me realise I do need to stick with more hobbies. I do need to keep myself busy, because the more I sit, the more I do dwell on things, the more I think about things that I probably shouldn't be thinking about. I tend to overthink. So I am going to try and maybe stick with the vein of doing things a bit more, keeping myself busy. Like yesterday, my painting by numbers, I decided to make frames for them. So it's just keeping myself busy, keeping my brain occupied. I want to try and, even though lockdown's hopefully lifting now, I do want to try and keep that up, so I don't have as many episodes of maybe of dwelling on things, and not I don't want to say depression, it's nowhere near depression, but I don't want to have those periods, if I can help it, of feeling down. And I definitely learned that I need to focus on myself a lot more, and I just, fingers crossed, I can keep that going. Fingers crossed I can. Interrupted again, guys, sorry about that. Dog's a nightmare. Yeah, let me know anything you've discovered in lockdown. Let me know anything you've been surprised by. If you've seen anything in terms of the good you've seen during lockdown? What have you seen the bad during lockdown? I've been surprised by myself a few times. Has anyone else like me developed queue rage? I've developed genuine queue rage. It's nuts. If you're not standing on the spots, if you're not paying attention to the queue moving, I will want to punch you into next week. That's one thing I have discovered during lockdown, that's for certain. But let me know anything that you found out during lockdown. It'd be good to hear it, and let me know if it's not just me. Hopefully this video has been a bit different, a bit more uplifting than the last one. Hope you guys will come back again for maybe the next one in a week or so. If you can, take a minute just to like the video, take a minute to subscribe, and while you're there, you might as well ding the notification bell while you're there. It'd be good to have you back again for the next one. Thanks for watching, guys, really do appreciate it. Stay safe, peeps. Speak to you soon.